I'm not going to solve your system of equations or even give you any hints on it. I think I'll just do an example problem. So I always put up my wall to identify where the left and the right side are. In this particular problem, I can eliminate, just like in the Hunger Games, because there's some opposites here that are going to cancel. So are the y's eliminated from the competition or the x eliminated? The x's are eliminated because those are opposites. And what I'm doing is I'm adding this equation to this equation, column by column. So here I'm going to add these two numbers together. Let me make that a little bit bigger. So I'm going to add these two numbers and put it here. I'm going to add these two numbers and put it over here. And I already added those two numbers. They made 0. So big long line, that means equals. Must be that I'm solving for y, because I've got y by itself here. So I've got -5 and -3 make -8 y's. The other side is 45 minus 5. I'm adding by column. Add this column, now I add this column, makes 40. And then to get y by itself, I divide. And that means y is -5. Okay, so now that's only the first half of the solution to a system. A system has two parts to it. That's what makes it a system, at least two. And now that I know that y is equal to -5, I can choose either one of these equations. And at the end of the video, I'm going to go ahead and prove that I could choose either one. I didn't do that in class for the sake of time, but I'm going to choose the top one to start with, and then I'll do the same thing with the bottom one and show that that still works. So -5 times y minus 10 times x equals 45, and the variable that I can replace here is y. Y equals -5, and negative times negative is a positive. 5 times 5 is 25, minus 10x is 45. I'm going to cancel the 25 first. All I'm doing right now, so again, the structure here is eliminate, solve for y, and then plug in, solve for x. So there's a lot of details here that don't really matter. Just cross these out and solve for y, then plug this in and solve it for x. But let's go ahead and finish 20, because 45 minus 25 is 20. Don't forget the negative. And a lot of people today were forgetting that when you're timesing by a negative, you have to divide by a negative in order for it to cancel. And that means x at the end is -2. Okay, pause this here if you'd like to, because I'm going to erase and prove that I could also plug in the second equation, and that would work as well. So pause here. Otherwise, I am erasing. So the solution at the end there was x was equal to 2, I believe. And I did that with the first equation, and now I'm going to do it with the second of the equations. -3 times y plus 10 times x is -5. And it's kind of amazing we're going to get the same answer so long as we do it the right way. So I'm going to replace the y with -5. Replace the y with -5. And purple is good. Negative times a negative is a positive. 15, 10x, -5. Subtract 15 from both sides. Why did I put 12? Cancel your opposites. 10 times x is -20. Divide by 10. X is -2. And so it should be that no matter which one of these two equations you choose, if you plug in y is equal to -5, you will get the same solution for x, which means that the system has been solved what's called simultaneously. Simultaneous means that it happened at the same time. So x and y will solve this equation and this equation simultaneously because it solves them both at the same time.